Welcome back. This is the Intel on ENCA. Well, she has starred in several television productions and various stage plays. Xolile Shabalala, you know her. She became a household name from around 2002 or even earlier than that to 2005. You and I will remember when she joined Generations, playing the role of, I don't know if you still remember the character, Julia Mutene. Last year, she joined the Netflix original series, Blood and Water, where she plays Nwabisa Bele. The series is one of the most highly rated in the country. She joins me now for a conversation in our profile feature. Xolile, thank you for coming through. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for
I say this is a show for people who don't go to church, or at least who go to church and they're done with church by midday.
Yes. Yes.
Not people who spend a lot of time in
Yes.
church.
Church finished at 1:30.
Yes.
So I had to run quickly and come here.
So I'm going to tell you why I asked for you to be invited to be part of this conversation, because we try to get the perspectives of as many involved and, interesting South Africans as possible. We are largely a political show, but with elements of the economy.
Yes.
But we find that we don't hear enough from people who fit your profile,
Okay.
who are entertainers, who are artists.
Yeah.
Why do you believe that is?
I don't know, but what I would say is that in the Constitution, I have a right to say whatever I feel. That's why our democracy allows everybody, every South African,
Yes.
to say their point of view. That's what democracy is about.
Absolutely.
And it is enshrined in our constitution. And people like Sol Plaatje, who was a journalist, wanted that. For me, the people who died, let me say, from Sol Plaatje to Langalbalele Dube, Luthuli, they fought for me to be able to express how I feel. That I have every right to say whatever I want to say.
Absolutely.
It is my constitutional right.
I, for one, am glad you don't hold back, right? Whatever the consequences, because we live in that kind of a society.
Yeah.
So the specific clip that caught my attention was on your Instagram feed.
Okay.
And you were addressing this poster that the DA had put up in Phoenix. The ANC calls you racists, we call you heroes. There was a lot of backlash, and eventually they withdrew it.
Yeah.
We've got the video from your Instagram, but unfortunately I have to apologize for the quality. Just taking it from Instagram and translating it to broadcast quality, it didn't really translate that well. But we can actually take a listen to some of her views, and then I'm going to engage her on those in a moment.
I hope you're all well wherever you are. The statement I'm about to make might sound shocking to somebody, or it might just sound like a hogwash. But the majority of South Africans were raised by a black woman. Whether you're black, white, Indian, colored, whatever, you have slept on the back of a black woman. She has washed your tears. She has taken care of you. She has cooked your food. She has washed your clothes. She's done everything for you. Even if maybe you have not grown up in South Africa, you came in South Africa. The person who cleans your kitchen is a black woman. The person who takes care of your children is a black woman. So why is it that the very same black woman, you dehumanize her? You no longer see her as a human being, you just see her as your slave or your maid or your whoever who works for you. When that woman wakes up at 3 o'clock coming to clean your kitchen, she leaves behind abantwana bakhe.
So that's just an excerpt of a long video. It's about 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
There's a point at which you make that argument from talking about how easy it is to dehumanize a black woman, and you link it to the events around this campaign. Tell me your thought process there.
So my grandmother was a domestic worker. She left Friede to work in Johannesburg to take care of my mother and my uncles and everyone else. So I feel that in South Africa, the one thing that we don't understand, the economy of South Africa is on the back of a black woman, however you like it. Be it that she's cleaning your floors, be it that she's feeding your children. Surely that person needs humanity. Because chances are the child who died in Phoenix was killed innocently. Maybe her mother said, just go and try and find work there. And that child died. And now a politician is comfortable, not even caring that it's okay. That statement alone, it's wrong. You're saying another race is good to go and kill another race. Are you seeing that statement? How can a politician who's trying to unite the country be able to say such words? He could have just said, those who looted that place were not right to do that. Not to just blanket us all. It's just the world is starting to see every black person as a criminal. For me, that's what it sounds like. Yet that person in the morning, their shirt is being ironed by a black woman. Yeah. First thing in the morning. For that person to wake up in the morning to drink tea, a black woman has to stand there. Isn't that black woman a human being? That black woman has a child who's walking around trying to find school. And what she will get at the end when she retires, maybe a watch if she's lucky.
Sure. So were you talking mostly about a lack of empathy, or is it tone deafness that you were talking
Everything.
about?
Everything of the above.
Yeah.
Everything of the above. Is that here we are. The year is 2021. You see how far away we are? It's 2021. You still don't see, you don't even have empathy for the other race? Why is it okay to see those who killed that innocent child as heroes? Like, can you explain that to me?
Yeah.
Where is humanity? If nothing else, Ubuntu, where is that?
And Xolile, I'm struck by one of the things I noticed is that, I don't know, I wasn't there when you recorded the video, but it looks to me that you didn't even have your thoughts arranged and written out in a teleprompter format, the news anchor's favorite friend, teleprompter. It was coming from the heart.
It came from my heart because my grandmother was a domestic worker. That could have been, that child who got killed could have been my uncle. That child who could have killed could have been my mother. You know, because our mothers who are domestic workers are not there to raise their children. They either come back at 4 o'clock, they're hoping that the system will take care of their children when they send them to school, or let them walk there to go find work, wherever they are. No parent wants to be woken up at 3 o'clock when they're working for their domestic workers, maybe here from Friede, maybe my grandma, like for example, my grandmother who was working in Joburg, she would come home end of the month. No one wants to wake up and say, your child has just been killed innocently, just by being a black person walking, just by being a passerby.
Yeah. And it wasn't the first time that you made your views known about an issue that some would say is political. I think there was a point where you took issue with some ANC politicians, and there was this whole issue of a campaign that was happening, and they were buying chicken feet, I think that's the incident. And saying that, oh, we will do this for the vote. Of course, they had a different explanation. There's always an explanation. But you took issue even in that instance.
Our ancestors died for us to be free. Our ancestors fought for us to be able to, for me to be able to say whatever I want. Also, our ancestors told us, when you finally get to a position of power, you have to take care of your people. You can't mock them. As a child raised by my grandfather, I was told to honor my race and respect it. I'm the first ambassador of my race. If I disrespect a black person, I'm disrespecting myself, the whole lineage of black people. The world is doing it enough. The world they can do whatever they want. But when you look like me, it is your responsibility to take care of me. It is my responsibility to take care of you. Because you know what? The world has showed us flames. We need to be kind to each other. So when you're suddenly in a place of position, treat your people as fairly and as kindly. Because one day, that person could be you, because the world is a merry-go-round, it turns.
Absolutely.
And that could be your child one day selling maudwan.
Last question in this segment before we move on to more fun things that I'm looking forward to. How do you deal with the backlash, which I'm pretty sure comes?
I do get it.
You would have seen the recent incident with the Nando's Gareth Cliff Central situation and this whole talk of race baiting, race politics. We are engaging in race baiting, in race politics, identity politics. It's retrogressive, but also away from issues of race, people that say, oh, if Xolile doesn't want to be an actress anymore and she wants to be a politician, she should just say so that we know what we're dealing with. How do you deal with that?
As an artist, you reflect what you see. You talk about what you see. That's why I'm an artist. When you're an artist, you wake up every morning, you look, the society is your mirror. You've got to talk about what you see. I will never be a politician. I'll never wake up tomorrow and campaign for anything. But when something is wrong, it doesn't matter who does it. We all have to talk about it. It is my constitutional right to say when I think something is wrong.
Absolutely.
I will always act. I will always be an actor and a director, but when something is wrong, we've got to talk about it, because I also live in the society. I live in the society. Surely things affect me.
I can't tell you how glad I am to hear you say that. I'm a fan of such thinking among people who are influential in our society. And I think I've said this before when I spoke to Shoma Joseph, for example, and I was telling her that I'm absolutely a fan. You've got to stand for what you stand for and make it be known in democratic South Africa. All right, that wraps up that part of the conversation. I'm taking a quick break. When we come back, we are talking about happiness ever after, blood and water, and everything that Xolile Shabalala has done. Hopefully we have enough time to talk about everything. We'll see how far we go. This is the Intel on ENCA.